Storm is coming, revealed in mystery. Hidden warriors already to give a fatal blow. Observe the sums of time, guided by civilization. Light a beacon, spread the words. The war cry sounding from afar. Fire and sword piercing through. We'll never surrender. For our lives, for victory. From the King of Glory. The symbol touch the sky. Together, heart champion. Charge without fear. Climb the highest mountain. The way to glory is higher than the sky. The sound of world fill the planet. We are the heroes that will make history. Worlds will spread to continents. Temple the God will walk our Storm is coming, revealed in mystery. Hidden warriors already to give a fatal blow. Observe the sums of time, guided by civilization. Light a beacon, spread the words. The war cry sounding from afar. Fire and sword piercing through. We'll never surrender. For our lives, for victory. From the King of Glory. The symbol touch the sky. Together, heart champion. Charge without fear. Climb the highest mountain. The way to glory is higher than the sky. The sound of world fill the planet. We are the heroes that will make history. Worlds will spread to continents. Temple the God will walk our
Hello, governors. Welcome to the 2023 Rise of Kingdoms Global Championships Grand Prix Semifinals. I'm your host, Plato Gaming, caster and content creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and casting alongside me today is guest caster Fish.
Yo, honor to be here, Plato.
Yeah, so for those who do not know, this Grand Prix is a special one. It is a very special event as it is the first event to combine the international Rise of Kingdom server with the Chinese Rise of Kingdom server, bringing the best of the best from the two servers, ultimately to crown the best Ark of Osiris team in the world. We've invited all the Osiris League realm winners from the last two seasons, as well as 4 teams, 2 teams per server from the sign-up stage in the Grand Prix. And now we are down to our final 4 in these semifinals. Like the Grand Finals, every player is given an account, and every account has access to the same commanders, same gear, same troops. So it all comes down to strategy and how each team and each player uses their marches to get an edge. And we are casting with a 12-minute delay for competitive integrity, just as a reminder. So for this matchup, we have A-97 versus 489, a clash between the international server versus the last Chinese team standing in the competition, battling it out to move on to the finals here, taking the next step to be the global champion. So I guess we could go to Fish here. What do you think overall of this matchup?
I mean, it's a great matchup. On one side, we have A-97, which is known basically as a big Chinese team at the moment. On the other hand, we have 489, which are probably the underdog right now in this situation, and also the underdog of the Grand Prix in general from the international server, but are absolutely great team. But I heard that they practice every day almost, and that they put a lot of time right now into the Grand Prix also. And they're definitely a very strong team as well. So that's going to be an amazing matchup.
Everyday practice. 489, I feel like, has been the underdog from the beginning of their run, even in their run during the Osiris League Season 7, where they were betted against as they versed their own kingdom. If you remember, 489 had the whole left side of the bracket, so they versed CG, they versed a bunch of different of their own. Like they were even doubted against their own kingdom, but they ended up going and winning their realm last season. So we'll have to see if they'll be able to do the same thing here this season. As for A-97, could you give us a little bit of a history of A-97 for people that do not know the Chinese server?
I mean, A-97 has been now 2 times Chinese Osiris League champion. 1 time in Season 3 in Anubis and 1 time in Season 4 in Horus. They also became the Grand Final champion in this season.
Okay.
I think that they won also the Grand Final with 2-0, so they had an amazing one basically through the Chinese Osiris League. And A-97, yeah, I mean, we've seen them in the past 2 weeks already, or past 4 weeks, let's say it this way. They beat GV77, they beat 466S. Both times they had great performances. They were known, especially in the building game, as a great team. They had some struggles sometimes with the arcs, too early engages in my opinion, but in general they showed amazing performances, but so also did 489.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a back and forth for these matches here, and we'll have to see what tactics they employ as we go into the bracket here. We had some really interesting matches. A97, as you said, were able to beat 466S, and they beat GV77. 489 were able to beat 88VH as well as USD in their last matches. So they will have to compete against each other for that. So one of the spots to the finals here. And this is actually going to be a best of 3. So there will be potentially up to 3 matches. So first to 2 wins will move on. What do you think of a best of 3 in a day? Like, it's going to be pretty hectic, and I guess there is going to be a way to adjust in case something happens in the first game that didn't work out, that you'll be able to adjust for the second and potentially the third game.
For sure. I think in general best of 3 is also interesting because teams can take higher risk. Teams maybe do skills that they usually wouldn't use. I think that's usually the problem with the international server, that like teams like to use this very safe way of playing, while the Chinese server, what we saw in the Grand Prix right now, like to use more risky plays, especially like GY16 last week with the sneaky strategies, sneaky tactics, I'm sorry. Amazing plays there as well, and I think today we can see more of those plays also from the international server.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here as we get into the match. It's going to be such an interesting game. These teams, the best of the best, fighting against each other as we get into the gameplay here. A-97 on the top side versus 489 in the bottom side. What do you expect from the openings here, Fish?
I mean, the openings, I would say that A-97 will be very aggressive, for sure. That's what they showed also in the last two games already. At the same time, you have 489. 489 last week at the match, they used already before the first arc the dust up skill to get advantage for the first building fight. So this could also basically counter like A-97 aggressive playstyle. So I'm not really sure what we can expect. Maybe both teams could also go a little bit more passive than usually. So yeah, we're gonna see.
Gotcha, yeah. It'll be really interesting to see, because we've been seeing the Chinese teams pull off strategies, as you said, that are very foreign to the international teams, where they might even give up mid to get 4 altars, for example. Their structure pressure has been insane compared to what we're used to in the international servers, where in the international servers, it feels like there's this set timer that everyone follows, where it's like, okay, we go mid at this time, we pressure structures at that time. The Chinese servers have definitely been challenging that notion, and we'll have to see how 489 will respond to that challenge as we show the gift codes here. 2023 RoK 666 2023 RoK 666 is the gift code for today, so be sure to put that in game so that you can get some extra goodies for your account.
I think what's also going to be pretty interesting in this game is in general the structure game. Like, yeah, the Chinese team are extremely strong at the building game, as you said already. But also, like, from the international server, I would say 489 and 93T are the two teams with like the best building game in general. 489 was extremely dominant against USC also in the building game, which is also a Chinese team. So yeah, I think this could also be pretty balanced out today.
Yeah, and one thing I will say is 489's mids have been really, really strong. The way that they micro their marches so that they can get the best possible outcome for these mid fights. As the gates are falling in 10 seconds here. Again, final gift code 2023 RoK 666 as I put it away for the match to start here. We got the double C's running out towards these obelisks and outposts. Okay, a very aggressive sentry here from 489. This is pretty forward of a sentry here, right?
It's definitely aggressive sentry. On the other hand, you see A-97 basically doing it between the altar and this Shrine of War, which is quite usual, I would say. The 489 sentry is definitely, of course, to see the marches going also to the Sky Altar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say both teams definitely playing aggressive with those sentries.
A-97 actually getting, I feel like they're a bit faster with their marches here. As we look at the rallies, 489 actually opting in for the outpost rallies. They have 7 rallies to A-97's 4. We'll have to see if they will contest these outposts early and maybe contend with some first points with these outposts, 81st points for first capture.
I mean, yeah, it could also be that those rallies will get dissolved and then basically walk to the Shrine of War or the Desert Altar. That's what we've seen also in games before already. I mean, the play to go to the Shrine of War is, in my opinion, not a too good play, but I also don't think that 489 would do that, personally.
The thing about rallying an outpost is you could only rally, I believe it has a 500k cap, right?
Yeah.
So one of your marches are going to be cut for speed. Although you do get there faster and it does give an avenue of an attack, but you are going to be sacrificing the march capacity of one of your marches here. as we get to see the marches walking into vision. 489 Sentry actually giving them a ton of vision as to where A-97 is allocating their troops, and it seems that they have a heavy pressure towards the Desert Altar and maybe like 1 to 2 individuals in this outer lane for the Sky Altar. As we look at the unit compositions here, a lot of cavalry as we've been seeing. And there seems to be a distinct lack of archers for these initial fights here.
Yeah, you see always like the Scipios coming on with infantry, of course.
Yeah.
But that's basically the only march that teams use at this point that is not cavalry for the beginning. Of course, except the garrisons, but yeah, that shouldn't be counted. And on the top side, you see right now already the the Desert Altar, I'm sorry, is pretty stacked already by A-97. A-97 been once again very quick.
Yeah.
And also on the bottom side, A-97 is very quick. Like, that's also what we've seen last week already. A-97 in general at the opening is extremely quick, like way faster than most teams.
Really decisive with their movements. Like, you could see with the initial obelisk captures as well as initial outpost captures, their openings are really well done, as their positioning in the Desert Altar of 489 is really advantageous. We could go ahead and see the positioning in their own Desert Altar. They are smashing 489 in their own Desert Altar. So the A-97 Desert Altar seems to be going uncontested. Meanwhile, this 489 Desert Altar is going to be up for grabs. Actually, it looks like they are winning this murder ball fight against 489 in both Desert Altar fights.
Yeah, it's the typical like opening of A-97. Very aggressive, but also very successful usually with it. They move already many marches on the top side to the enemy Sky Altar also.
Yeah, so they have a lot of pressure around these structures, and yeah, the Sky Altar of 489 is being contested heavily here. And I love how they're chunking down the garrison, because that's one of the things about structures. They fall super quick if there is not a garrison, or even if you chunk down the garrison, a structure falls once a garrison falls out 100%. So if you chunk them down and make it so that they fall out of the structure faster, this is exactly what you want to do as A-97. And their opening is going to be pretty dominant here, as the garrison has fallen for the Sky Altar. They now have a XY garrisoning the Sky Altar.
But
and look,
489 got in most structures actually, to know.
That is true. Desert Altar, I'm not too sure how they got that Desert Altar, but A-97 was able to recover that. And this Sky Altar is actually getting pretty filled. This Huakibin garrison holding strong for 489.
And there's already the garrison coming in 30 seconds right now.
Let's see. 30 seconds. It's actually getting really filled by 489. What we initially thought was kind of a really dominant A-97 positioning from the offset. 489, in my opinion, has been able to recover pretty well here as they fill the Sky Altar. Huakibin garrison, no problem. They were able to hold until the Heraclius got in there. Heraclius YSS. As we look at the other structures on the map here, it looks like Desert Altar of 489 was taken by A-97, but that was traded for the Sky Altar in the bottom lane.
Yeah, very balanced opening right now.
So yeah, as you said, this is looking like a really balanced opening. Although the Sky Altar does look like it is under more threat. Meanwhile, the Desert Altar seems like there will be I think the Desert Altar is pretty safe for A-97 at this point.
Yeah, that should be quite safe. They have enough marches there to garrison. Of course, they have three more cavalry marches that are full. I think also what we can see in the early game right now, that like 489 changed their strategy compared to last week. There's no dust up happening.
Yeah.
Both teams saving up their skills for the first arc.
Wow, look at that rally swarm as soon as the rally gets in there. Although there are some marches being sad-faced. Maybe this Desert Altar is not as safe as we originally thought, but the Sky Altar is definitely looking like it's going to go down, which is going to be huge for A-97. Denying the first capture points, so 750 first capture points, or first occupation points.
That's painful, of course, to lose it this way. They had multiple players there with a full cavalry march beside it.
19,
That's
18,
definitely
17. Sky Altar is down of A-97, but the Desert Altar was taken by 489, so it seems to be a really even bout right now, where each team has control of 2 altars.
yeah.
As it is now the 4-minute mark, so we should see some of the marches rotating mid. It looks like 489 having the initial rotation, but closely behind them is A-97. What are your thoughts right now, Fish, of the positioning in this match?
I mean, it's quite balanced out. The Desert Altar on the top side will definitely go back to A-97 quite quickly. Also, on the same time, the A-97 Desert Altar on the bottom side, which is captured right now, is going to go to 489 back. So it's going to balance out completely, I guess, in the next minute. And then, yeah, we have a quite balanced matchup to now. Both teams are rotating to the mid. No team is later, in my opinion, to now. So it's looking quite good.
I will say with the structure game, I feel like A-97 was able to get a little bit of an advantage because they got first occupation points, first capture points for the 489 Desert Altar. They haven't been able to get the first capture points in their own Sky Altar, but as soon as that Sky Altar flips, it'll be at about a 1k advantage.
I think also the top lane Desert Altar did not really get conquered yet. Completely.
The top lane Desert Altar is also up for grabs for first capture points. So if 489 is actually able to stabilize this and hold this Desert Altar, which it looks like they are not able to, I casted cursed it. But A-97, if they hold their Desert Altar, and it looks like they're going to be holding the Sky Altar, they will have a 750 point times 2, because they're denying 750 points. So that's essentially a 1.4k swing off being able to capture that opponent Desert Altar.
Yeah, but at the same time, 489 got right now advantage, of course, in building points as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So the difference should not become too large at this point. Of course, a slight advantage for A-97, which would be good also if A-97 can't get that first arc, for example. But till now, I would say it's very balanced.
The murder ball for 489 is super together right now, as it looks like the middle fight, both murder balls inching closer and closer. In my opinion, it looks like 489 has numbers.
489 definitely got a numbers advantage right now.
Let's see what A-97 decides to do here. Are they they decide to walk back. They gotta wait for more reinforcements.
They're basically forced to engage now. 489 took the better position. A-97 knew they have more marches than 489 right now, so
there you go.
A little bit. Oh, and there we got already the fight.
Total vision used by 489. Nothing used in response of A-97 as of yet.
Both teams saving up that second skill.
The fact that... Wait, A-97 didn't use a skill yet, right?
No, for A-97 used Total Vision as well.
Oh, okay.
But both teams did not use the second skill yet. You see a lot of Cav marches also going in the bottom side of A-97.
Look at the sad faces coming out of A-97. Yeah. Wow. The sad face train of A-97. 489 showing their middle dominance here. 30 seconds until arc spawns, and it looks like mid has been cleared.
Mid
Al-
has been cleared. You see
although-
a lot of cavalry marches.
Yeah.
This basically to deny the arc, then a little bit to delay the arc. But at the same moment, you see that A-97 went for a lot of structures. And
Yeah.
also, 489 will not be able to take them back very quickly. Like, if you look at the bottom side Desert Altar, A-97 is there completely, because that's basically all the marches that they did not go to middle.
So they showed mid, but they actually went structure game. The bottom side of the map is looking super blue. The points per minute is in favor of A-97 as of now, but they haven't even, some of the structures haven't even started ticking. If these structures start ticking, it's going to be super A-97 favored. So I think it'll be a classic decision here for 489. Should they instantly capture this arc and just go mid fights to counteract the structure game of A-97, or do they try to stabilize their structure game?
I would say it doesn't really matter right now, because if one team would have used one more skill, basically, if A-97 would have used now additional, I don't know, dust up or mystical formation or whatever they might have, then I would go instantly for a second arc. But in this way, both teams are still balanced out, also the skill points, so it's a tough decision to make then, of course.
A-97 with a 2k point advantage, and it is currently growing 670 to 220. I'm also curious to see that 489, even though they don't control their bottom side, they decided to bring the arc to the bottom. I'm guessing this is so they can use their defensive force to defend the arc while also taking the desert altar.
Yeah, I mean, they have all of the marches from mid basically going to the own altar, so this side should be safe. Even if A-97 is coming from this direction, there should not be much that they can do at this point.
Yeah.
Now 489 seems to be taking it to the outpost, or going to the direction of the outpost, and then
Oh, interesting.
that altar is definitely gonna fall quite quickly.
So if you're going to the outpost, that signals to me that you're gonna insta cap it.
Yeah.
You don't hold the arc next to the outpost.
Yeah, exactly. They would definitely capture it quite quickly.
And if they capture it, it actually evens out the game in terms of points.
Yeah. It will be a slight advantage still for A-97 probably for the next minute, so probably it will end with like a 1k advantage after this play.
That's true. This desert altar is holding pretty strong here. Getting to hold it for an extra 2 minutes or so, denying 300 points from 489, giving yourself 300 points for A-97. As we've been saying, structure game versus mid game has been the kind of trend that we've been seeing, the two different styles of international versus Chinese.
I mean, I would not say that it's like too different yet. Like, it's basically the play of like giving up the first arc and getting more structure points. That's like what many teams in general do for the first arc. At the later arcs, they many times don't do it anymore because then the point difference becomes
more,
too
yeah.
big.
Mm-hmm.
But for the first arc, it's a pretty common play that also happens in the international server quite a lot.
It looks like the desert altars being contested, but they are safe. Instead of that, yeah, there isn't really too many structures being contested at this current moment in time. Arc has been captured, so there will be another arc in 7 minutes.
Yeah, you will see teams now mostly trying to do one more push, kill off their marches basically, and then go for next mid-fight. I don't think the team will go for buildings at the second arc. Or, well, okay, A-97, I don't even know when they used it actually, but used dust up. So the point advantage should be, of course, then for 489.
Yeah. The points per minute are pretty bearable. The structures are completely even. They just have to wait for this desert altar and some of their outposts to capture. As the sky altar is in contention here, but it looks like it is pretty safe. there actually hasn't been too much movement in the outer lanes compared to the other matches that we've been watching, where outer lanes have been super contested.
Yeah.
It seems to be a lot of inner lane fights for these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, in the Grand Prix in general, we saw more that like older lanes are extremely dominant. I think here they're more balanced out than in the other games.
Mm-hmm.
I think also A-97 had a quite strong outer lane in the first week.
Yeah,
But that's also
remember. I
they're
remember
countering
them.
it quite good.
I remember them having a pretty strong outer lane as well, but it's been pretty stable as of this match so far.
Yeah.
The outer lanes being heavily contested because they still give the same amount of points as the inner lane, but the Shrine of Life at giving 5% health and 5% march speed is huge, as well as if you capture your opponent's outer lane structure, it's really hard for the opponent. They have to decide, should we send more resources to recapture that structure, recapture the points per minute, or should we sacrifice that structure and go mid? Because the outer lane structure is so far away from the mid lane, maybe like a 1.5 to 2 minute walk, that if you're in the outer lane structure and you allocate more structures, more units there, more troops, more marches, those marches will most likely be irrelevant for a mid fight. But it looks like that hasn't really been a tactic employed, where both teams have been kind of going even in the outer lane bout.
Yeah, and what you also see at the Shrine of Life right now is like the beautiful play of like A-97, the garrison in general, it's not dropping. You see A-97 always filling it up.
Yeah, I would say both of these teams have a pretty good march swapping, as I've been watching this Desert Altar and thinking that this Desert Altar is going to drop any moment now, but it's still going.
And that's basically the quality that we see also today. Like, you have two teams with amazing structure game that practice really every day probably at this point. And both teams, of course, at the structure game, they're perfect.
Believe that 49 still held this Desert Altar. That's crazy. As you said, these are the best of the best teams now from both the Chinese server, international server. So the quality of Ark of Osiris gameplay that you're going to be watching within the next couple of weeks here is going to be really high. It's going to be the best of the best. And we can see it with the structure holds. We can see it with how even this game is. A 300 point differential currently for in favor of A-97. As we flash the code again for the gift code here, 2023 RoK 666. Again, 2023 RoK 666. Be sure to get your goodies from in game. As mid rotation, it looks like 489 actually being first to this mid rotation here. 3 minutes to go.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be quite difficult now for A-97, of course, because we saw A-97 use Total Vision, we saw him use Dust Up. These are two skills that, of course, cost a lot of points. One more skill than 489, so 489 is in a point advantage right now. 489 could potentially drop, I don't know, 2 skills to 4 points. Meanwhile, you have A-97, of course, in a disadvantage there, so the mid-fight could become extremely difficult for him. I think that definitely we will either see A-97 now go for structures, or we will see some new strategy being pulled off.
Yeah, 489, they have mid-rotation advantage, they have point advantage. So we'll have to see, and we are seeing a lot of A-97 walk towards this Desert Altar. I like the transition that 489, they see that there are a lot of marches walking up towards the Desert Altar, so they pull some marches that were rotating mid to cover for that rotation.
Yeah, we don't see anyone right now from A-97 really mid. It's a few cavalry marches, but that's basically it, and we see a complete building focus. And now 489 of course needs to react fast, especially for the altars. You don't want to lose both of the altars. You might lose the Desert Altar, you have a lot of A-97 there. On the top side, I think the Sky Altar should be pretty safe. And once again, you see A-97 basically just trying to disturb the Ark then, with all of those cavalry marches coming.
Yeah, they have like a split focus here where they're trying to hide on the sides here to, I guess, disturb the arc capture, maybe get first cap, and if not, hit the arc carrier while they rotate to structures. I really like 489's response though. Instead of sending everyone mid and them just standing around, they were able to send a lot of the rotating marches to mid to these desert altars so that they could hold these. So the desert altar looks pretty safe at this current moment in time because of that pivot that they did. Although Shrine of Life did fall, but at least they were able to hold the altar. We'll have to see though if A-97 will be able to take advantage of this, because they do have some marches next to the Temple of Osiris here.
Yeah, it's definitely looking right now better for 489. Also because 489 got now so many troops at the altar, they can definitely pressure now a lot of structures of A-97 as well, and I don't really see anyone at the Sky altar yet.
Yeah, it looks like mid 489 has complete control of mid currently.
Yeah, that's definitely going to 489.
So I guess
the
the question is now, since there's no mid fight, what are the teams going to be using their skill points for? Is this a master strategies potentially?
I mean, I don't think the teams will use masters. There we got a new skill actually. I don't think we saw
Hard
this skill
push.
yet.
Wow, was that used by 489?
No, that was right now by A-97.
Oh, A-97.
We
Hard
never saw
push.
any hard push yet in the Grand Prix. That's actually something completely new.
Yeah, the hard push essentially no one's been using ever since they took it away that you can't use it at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, and you see also like all of the A-97 marches now coming from all directions. You also see some of them moving from the top side through the bottom to the middle basically.
So what does hard push indicate to you, Fish? Like, what does the use of hard push indicate from A-97 and their intentions?
I mean, A-97 tried to show that they're not going for the arc. So 489 goes back to structures, obviously, and now A-97 is coming with a lot of cavalry marches to the middle. I'm really not sure if they can take this arc or not, because you have the 489 marches there, quite close to the arc, and you won't be able to clear them very well. So maybe it's just to disturb the arc.
Yeah, I mean there's a disturbing amount of marches around this this arc. Dust up used by A-97 as well.
And now you have a lot of marches actually from A-97 coming from the bottom side there.
Yeah, I would actually say A-97 has more marches around this arc than 489.
I would still say that 489 got more marches, and now 489 will have to see if they're using the skill. I don't think that they should have total vision up yet. I think also Dust Up has just been used, so now it's of course in the question if they use another skill for it or not. Because obviously 489 now wants to insta-capture the arc because they know that they have the skill point advantage right now compared to A-97, that's 100% sure. So 489 definitely wants to capture that as soon as possible and go for another arc instantly.
As we see the hero infantry. Oh no, this is I can't even tell who the carrier is anymore. Oh, but the arc is down.
The arc is down, but also A-97 marches are basically getting destroyed now, so
A-97's goal with that was to not deny the arc but slow down the arc capture and potentially kind of keep 489's marches around this arc so that they can take structures such as the Desert Altar that they just were able to capture. Try to make some headway in the points per minute game, which they have been 620 points per minute to 250 points per minute.
I mean, I don't know if I would say that A-97 didn't want to take the arc, but probably they did not expect 489 to still have so many marches near the middle or react so fast to it basically. Because for a short time, A-97 was looking in the advantage actually in the middle then with the marches, but 489 definitely reacted very good and very quickly.
I will say, like, I feel like the marches in this game are so speedy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I feel like there's always there's always someone somewhere in this game, and that's just a testament to when the march use of infantry plus plus CPO with Liu Che for the march speed, but also just being able to put your marches in the right place. You don't really see too much back and forth or indecisiveness from these teams, as yeah, they are going straight to this outpost. Will they be able to capture this arc?
It will probably drop one more time. Or there are actually marches coming from the bottom side. I hope that they have something inside of the outpost. They should have like one march probably.
Oh yeah, they got a Heraclius garrison in that outpost. Just so as a reminder, all of these players are playing from with an even account, so they have all the commanders, all of the gear, so everything's even. So everyone has a garrison captain. Someone just put in their Heraclius in there, just making sure that this outpost is safe and that the arc cannot be stolen, as the arc has been captured.
And now it's difficult because the next arc, I mean, there should be still a skill point advantage right now for 489. And they know that. So definitely they try to get that arc as soon as possible in, as we saw. And now going for the next arc where they will have once again the advantage.
As I display the code again, gift code 2023 RoK 666. Again, 2023 RoK 666. Desert Altar of 489 gonna be recaptured. The Huoqi Bing garrison though, Huoqi Bing as a garrison low-key has been holding a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, definitely not intentionally, but don't copy that, please, guys.
Do not use this for KVK. I repeat, do not use Huoqi Bing in KVK unless you're versing either Fish or I in KVK. It looks like most of these structures are pretty safe.
I mean, I'm quite surprised that we see a lot of times actually in this game structures without the real white garrison.
Yeah, especially since it is an
We're in
environment where
semifinal,
everyone has all the commanders, right?
Yeah, and usually those teams do not have this happening a lot, and I mean, we've seen it quite a lot, but on both sides, of course.
As we start to see 489 pushing up here against A-97. Trying to sad face their marches, and this is a pretty good timer, sad face timer, 6 minutes, so that you can refresh, potentially rotate mid. There are a lot of A-97 marches here, by the way. It looks like they will start pushing towards the Desert Altar, and they also have some cavalry marches blocking the mid rotation on the bottom side here, as we actually start to see some initial mid marches from 489.
Yeah,
So
that's probably more for vision now.
yeah,
They're
just to
checking
make
out
sure
for the enemy.
A-97 isn't doing any some mid rotation shenanigans. But
We will
look,
see one more push basically from both teams now happening, or one more defense, and after that both teams will rotate to the mid.
yeah, the wave of blue coming from A-97 into this Desert Altar. Let's see if 489 will be able to hold this Desert Altar yet again. The game super even, less than 1k advantage for 489. So this next arc is actually still going to be a make or break arc. Even though 489 has been able to capture 2, the build-in game from A-97 holding things together for them. It's kind of been a trade, as you've been saying, right? Where you give up that mid pressure to be able to recapture the Desert Altar for a couple of minutes, deny some points per minute, and even gain some.
Yep.
So would you say that for this next mid fight, do you think it's imperative that both, like, whoever gets this next arc is pretty much like in the lead, or
No.
or
I
do you
would
think
not, I
there's
mean, in the
still
lead, of course. I mean, in the lead, 100%. That's without a doubt. I would not say that the game will be over yet by the next arc already. I think we could potentially see a fourth arc.
Ooh,
If this arc is being captured quick or with a teleport skill, for example.
yeah, master strategies captured like we saw from
93T.
93T last week.
But this is still looking quite good right now for 489, definitely.
Yeah, 3 altars.
Also-
They were actually able to take away the Sky Altar for a little bit, so taking away 300 points per minute minimum. 300 points minimum for the 2 minutes capture time that A-97 will have to do for their own altar. So that's just going to result in an even bigger lead created for 489 here. And that's the thing about Arc of Osiris. It's not, it is these arcs, but it's also these little leads that you get from chipping away at these structures. As we see, yet again, 489 getting first rotation towards this mid-fight. So, with the patch notes, at least for the international servers, going out, the videos coming out today, what do you think of the new command? Have you seen the new Commander's Fish? The
I've
Heracles
seen
Prime?
him. I have to say I didn't really read into it yet too much. I still think that he will be, of course, very strong. But I don't think that we're going to see him in Grand Prix yet.
Yeah, we're not going to see them
I
in
don't
Grand
think
Prix.
he will be unlocked yet.
But for any viewers out here that are trying to invest potentially to play in Grand Prix, do you think that AoE poison skill is going to be super broken for mid fights? Or
I'm not sure. It will also depend on we have to see the test. It's very difficult to say something before the tests come out.
that's true.
Potentially yes, I would say. Potentially no. It depends a little bit on how strong, how long the fight needs to go to have it actually be that OP.
Yeah, maybe
But
replace
potentially
a Boudica.
he could replace the Archer March that we see right now. I think we have a Zhuge Liang Boudica.
Yeah.
I can't really see it here because I'm in.
Yeah, Suzuki Young Boudica is what I'm seeing as an Archer
but
March.
it would probably replace that March, but we have to wait for the test.
What do you think of the Zhuge Liang primary for this pair? Because in KVKs, I tend to see Total Vision used by
We have a
A97.
Total Vision, so let's look at the mid fight first. This time we have, of course, a different situation. Like, we have A-97 defending basically at the middle, and A489 needs to engage.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen A-97 with the middle positioning advantage here.
And I don't believe that 489 should have the Total Vision skill up right now, because I think they used it just a couple of minutes ago. So we're definitely going to see a different skill setup. Maybe, who knows, maybe Heaven's Grace or maybe a To The Death, depending on what the team chose.
It looks like they are rotating towards, wow, look at that. Both murder balls just,
Yeah,
I feel like they're playing like tag right now. They're just following
489
each other.
489 definitely got a March advantage there as well.
Yeah, that murder ball is like
I
huge.
believe that this will be a To The Death.
Yeah.
If you ball up this close and try to move as a ball this much, then this looks like a To The Death, and then maybe A97 should spread out. Because if it's a To The Death, they would get cleared for sure.
Let's see. To the death,
There we
used by
got the To
4
The
and
Death.
9. Oh my goodness. Dust Up used as well. So that is 8 points allocated towards this mid fight.
6 points. 6 points. Total Vision and Dust Up.
Wasn't it To the death? And
Oh, sorry, yeah, for 489. yeah, sorry.
that's all good. As we start to see a lot of the sad faces from A97, will they be able to get first pull though? That's going to be so important. And they were.
They got the first pull. And that's actually a huge one.
That is huge.
They're gonna get the second pull as well.
Oh, second pull is going to be really big. They are getting cleared though. Look at the sad faces streaming out of this mid fight.
They're gonna get cleared, but A-97 will definitely send new marches, and they have already another CC standing there, directly able to capture it. They have actually CCs lined up one by one. It's amazing play from A-97 here. That's how you want to basically grab the arc.
Ooh,
But actually it did not get tapped for them.
with the third pull. This pull is going to be huge for them, essentially erasing the first two pulls. And yeah, look at the dominance by 489 in this mid fight, clearing A-97.
To the death skill, basically, it's too strong. If you go directly ball against ball, you cannot counter that with a total vision and a dust up.
A-97 rotating towards the desert altar, while keeping it looks like the top lane forces went to the desert altar. Bottom lane is around the arc here. .489, 3 mid fights in a row have been able to win them really convincingly. If you're A-97 in this situation, Fish, what would you do?
It's a difficult situation because now you have the arc basically. It's gonna last 14 minutes from now. That means you have 4 minutes left if they would capture it in the last moment, which I believe they would. And now you need to get structures. You need to get the altars very quickly. You can't lose your own altar, which they might do on the top side. Yeah, unless you go now for a play, you suddenly be able to steal this arc. I don't really see a way right now how to turn it anymore.
Yeah, so this is an interesting situation because 489, the team that are in the lead, have control of the arc. So they're under no pressure to insta-capture this arc, for example, to force another arc. They can hold this for as long as possible, which, as you said,
I mean, which they should, of course. They know that they use right now 8 skill points. They know that the enemy use 6 skill points. They know that they will be in a disadvantage, most likely. So they will capture it as long as possible, go for the building game, of course, and potentially also provision game.
Yeah, they could deny an arc from even spawning if they hold it for long enough. So
yeah.
Definitely 489 in the driver's seat here. A-97, I'm not too sure what you do in this situation. You definitely have to hold your structures. This desert altar, if it falls, it's going to be even harder for A-97 to come back here. The last hope of the Chinese server, holding on for dear life here as 489 with these mid fights and the structure game right after.
But we see actually a lot of A-97 marches coming through right now, and there's not too much of 489 right now.
Oh, for this arc, yeah, arc dropped. Let's see if they're able to get a pull here. No, A-97 able to deny the pull of 489. So 10 seconds delayed there.
I mean, the delay doesn't really matter. Like, for 489, they can delay they can take it as late as they can, basically. It's now about, like, if A-97 could maybe potentially steal it or not.
Yeah.
And still 489 got the lower walking times. So... And I also don't think that the teleport skill would be possible right now, considering they just use 6 skill points in the middle.
What if they delay it for so long that they could use master strategies?
I mean, that would be huge, but I don't personally see that happening.
We'll have to see, because I actually do think this game rests on this arc. Although you do have to stabilize the structures. They have 3 altars. They have 3 altars right now.
They have 3 altars, and also what you can't forget is, of course, always the provision. I mean, we can just compare maybe the provision of both teams of the past. I don't think we should look in right now what they're provisioning right now yet, because the game is still too many minutes to play. But like, if we look based on the last week, for example, A-97 had around 5k provision points.
5k?
Which is a lot. 5k is a lot, definitely. And on the first week, I mean, last week we can't really compare 489, of course, but on the first week against USD, 489 had only 135 provision points, which is basically nothing. And this could also outbalance this arc, actually.
Oh, so 489 with what we've been seeing hasn't really been provisioning at all. Well, A-97, that could actually be huge.
I mean, maybe 489 could be provisioning today. We don't know. We can maybe check in like 5 minutes one time, but right now, yeah, we have to see.
Just off of trends, we could kind of, even though if they might be provisioning, the provisioning advantage you would say would go to 489. I mean, would go to A-97 rather.
No, the provision advantage, I believe, will 100% go to A-97 based on the last games.
Okay.
A-97 always got a pretty high provision score, and I would be surprised if they don't today.
Okay, so there is some hope. A-97 able to hold 3 altars as of now. Points per minute, they are currently up by 40 points per minute at 480 to 440. But this Sky Altar is going to start flipping and giving them some points, so... The points per minute now is at 630 to 440. I would start to get pretty nervous even though the Arc is captured. I mean, the Arc is secured for 489 here. I would definitely be nervous about the provisioning scores as well as the three altars.
I would be nervous. I mean, if I would be 489, I would definitely keep the Arc right now. I would not give it in. Still, of course, the provision is simply huge from A-97, and such provision scores can sometimes outbalance the Arc completely.
Yeah, we'll
and right now the game, of course, we have an advantage of like around 4.5k based on the Arc and the advantage right now. But still, this could also be taken over again.
And that advantage is actually, it's pretty even now because they were able to take both of the altars on the top side here, and that's exactly what they have to do.
Total vision. Yeah, we see total vision because 489 definitely keeps the Arc now. They don't want to aim for another Arc fight. So 489 would definitely go for any structures they can get. They would try to get this desert altar back as fast as possible, and also the enemy altars as fast as they can.
Yeah, they want to definitely stifle the bleeding here, or hold the bleeding here. As I, oh, the code's been up this whole time. That's okay. That means that you guys have seen the code plenty. Again, the Rise of Kingdoms code for this match, 2023 RoK 666. Get your goodies in game. I think you get some speed up, some gems, possibly some keys. It's actually such a close game.
It's a very close game. Very close, actually. Even though they got the Arc, but keeping the provision potentially in the back of the head, it's definitely a close game.
Look at that. It's a 400 point differential now without the Arc capture. So the Arc capture is approximately like 3.5k? How much is third Arc? 3.5-ish? So we can chalk up the differential right now to around 4k to 489, but as you said, the provisioners, and it actually looks like 489 have marches out to kill these provisioners, so they do know there is a war going on. 489's actually chasing away the Cleopatras with some marches. So
I feel like, wait, I think we said something wrong. I think this arc should be 4k actually. I think it's 3.5 and 4k.
Oh yeah, it's his third arc, right? So
yeah, not 3.5. It's definitely
okay.
4k. So we have a 4.5k advantage right now for 489.
And 489, as we were talking about earlier, they are looking for the provisioners. They actually have like 3 marches dedicated to killing provisioners.
No, I mean, we have reached the 12-minute mark, so we can talk about the provisioners. 489 got some people provisioning, but not many, actually. Like, not too many. At the same time, A-97 still got many provisioners out. And also bring a lot of provisioners, if you look right now about the top outpost. Bring 3 additional provision marches there as well.
Yeah, they are trying to provision their way back. And what's a funny way to get back into Ark of Osiris? Who would have thought that gathering would be the deciding factor here?
Yeah, gathering and the structure advantage, that's the only thing that can right now save A-97. And it will make the game potentially also close again. Like, we have a 4.2k advantage right now, which also shrank again. It could drop to a 2k advantage or even bounce completely back, depending on how the alters will go.
Yeah, these structure holds are going to be so important for A-97. And it's one of those things where, oh, they captured. So there's going to be 2 minutes left for mid.
Okay.
Potentially for a massive strategies capture. What do you think of that play from 489?
I don't understand it yet, to be honest, because 489 used a lot of skill points at the, also to capture the last arc. With the to the death, for example, and the total vision also. I don't think that they're gonna have enough skill points for a teleport skill right now. And I also, I mean, A90, it's giving more of a chance to A97 actually with that.
Spicy. We got potentially one more arc with 2 minutes between the arc spawning and the game ending. Structure game though, looking really 489 favored currently. They are holding the altars, which is what they need, but the shrines have fallen for A97 here.
Yeah, it's I would not call it 2-1 favored yet, as long as you keep the altars still.
Yeah. As long as you're able to recapture these shrines before they start ticking and you're able to hold these altars, it should be okay. They did trade it with the outposts. If you capture all 3 outposts, that's essentially equal to 1 altar.
I mean, we have a different game perspective now again, because 2 minutes ago we talked about structures and provision, and now we talk about another arc, a 4th arc.
So in 2 minutes, is if everything, you have a full T1 march sprinting from mid to an outpost, for example.
It's not gonna happen.
Would 489 be able to just run it down to an outpost?
I don't see a single way how this would ever happen. This is like the wish scenario basically, but it's not realistic at all.
So 489 essentially, they capture the arc, but they have no chance of capturing this last arc.
But yeah, 897 lost it as an altar, and that's very painful.
Yeah,
That's very painful at this point of the game. That it reminds me a little bit of 466S last week, basically, where they also lost this in the last minute.
These altar holds are going to be so important, not even to gain points for yourself, but to deny points from your enemies. I definitely think if A97 is able to respond with a capture of the desert altar of 489, it'd be pretty even. But 489 has been so strong at this desert altar, just instantly filling the structure at all times. Yeah. And that's one of the things, if you keep a structure topped off, the garrison's less likely to pop out because you have more troops to tank the damage, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree.
So they keep it instantly filled, and because of that, they don't have to garrison swap as much.
Yeah, and additionally, one thing that I just wanted to mention right now, because I just saw it and we didn't spoke about it yet, is the sentry, of A97. If you look below the Shrine of War of 489, you definitely see that A97 is slowly getting ready for this mid-fight, actually.
Oh.
And not 489, A97. Yeah, A97 is getting ready for it, and I believe that they're gonna try to capture it with the teleport skill. This is potentially the way for A97 to turn this game around.
Wow.
Because if they get the arc, this would be right now a 200-point game.
That is crazy. Imagine. So I'm so curious as to why 489 even allowed this to be an opportunity for A97.
It's very surprising, yeah. It's very surprising, and I personally don't see a reason for it yet. I really can't, and you will see now A97 moving to the middle. 489 will have a lot of people also pressure structures, because the point difference could make it in the end.
Yeah.
And potentially send some cavalry marches to mid to disturb the arc, to not let a teleport skill happen, but it's extremely risky.
Maybe, I don't know, it's like we give them the illusion of choice here, because I don't know.
Now, I don't understand it, to be honest.
But they
really
did take the 2 top lane structures. That's huge. Desert Altar Cap, huge. Shrine of Life, they've had that for a while. They're able to hold their own Sky Altar, so it's top lane dominance from their side.
Yeah, but at the same moment, you cannot forget the provision, and
Yeah.
you cannot forget about this arc. And right now, I don't see any provisioners from 489. Not a single one.
Well, if anything, it makes this game even more
makes it
entertaining to watch.
Very entertaining, definitely.
So let's see what happens. This is going to be a best of 3. So this is game 1 of potentially 3. Game 2 is going to be at 14 UTC, and if there is a game 3, it'll be tomorrow, Sunday. What is the date tomorrow? Sunday, December 10th at 12 UTC. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens here. 489 with that arc capture.
I really don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Maybe we don't see it. Maybe we don't see the thing behind it, but I don't understand it yet.
Well, they made it so that A-97 is now mid. They're capturing all the structures. Maybe it's like, all right, let's dominate the building game. Let's just try to kill the provisioners and win that way. But wait, we see Dust Up used from both teams. Okay.
Yeah, Dust Up. I mean, A-97 got the points. They for sure got the points, and what you will see happening now is A-97 trying to kill off all marches of 489, then potentially coming back to the arc for everyone trying to capture it and the skill being placed at the right moment.
Yeah.
I mean, in this way, you have a high chance of capturing the arc. If you have so many people at the same moment clicking at the arc, you have a very high chance of capturing it. And then you also have the very high chance to get this home.
1 minute until the moment of truth here for both teams.
489, of course, using Dust Up now, so some of the 489 marches cannot be seen. But the same thing also A-97 is doing. This is gonna be extremely close. If this is going...
This is such a chaotic mid-fight. I feel like it's like whack-a-mole. A-97...
We're still gonna have advantage for 489 actually, even if this mid-fight goes to A-97. So this is like a do or die right now for A-97.
That's definitely what I'm saying is 489, they allowed them to take this arc, but they took like every single structure. Yeah. Taking 4 altars, points per minute is crazy right now.
And soon you will see the teleport skill being popped, and you see, as I said, the marches of A-97 getting close to it. Everyone will try to capture it at the same time. But you also will see 489 trying to do the same thing. Now it's again, like, who's gonna capture the arc? And the teleport skill should pop soon. If not, this could be a misplay, actually.
I think they're trying to secure the arc first and then pop the teleport skill. Oh, 489 getting the first pull!
Yeah, they're trying to capture the arc, kill all marches around it. It's very risky. It's extremely risky because also you can't capture your
Oh, there you go. Massive strategies.
Someone from A-97 needs to take it. If they don't get it, this is done.
Oh no! No one has an arc. No one has an arc.
Yeah, it's still fine. It's still fine. It's good. Do they take it? Do they take it? It needs to survive. It needs.
Let's see.
No way. Did the arc one not? The
oh my goodness!
Get teleported.
There's too many marches. There's too many A-97 marches. For those that don't know, the teleport skill only takes 30 marches. So the arc carrier
did not get.
Oh my god!
This is so unlucky.
Wow!
And if you look at the points right now, also A-97 would be leading with all the provisions. This is so unlucky.
Wow!
This would have been potentially a win right now for A-97 if this didn't happen.
That was.
This is oh my god, this is the unluckiest thing I've
I don't
ever
think
seen
we've
in Osiris
ever
League.
seen anything like that for Master Strategies where the
Oh,
arc was
God.
captured, but the march didn't teleport. There's too many marches on top of the march. Wow.
Yes, GG. Wow, what an ending.
GG's. That would have been the game for A-97. But 4 and 9 being able to survive by the skin of their teeth. GG's to both teams. What an entertaining way to end the game.
Let's see how is the points looking. If we add, for example, the 4K points right now to A-97, we would
They
have
would
a
have
win
won. They would have
by
won.
200 points, by 200, not even 200 points, by 180 points, for example.
Wow.
This is unbelievable. This is really unbelievable.
And to think this is only game 1 of the best of 3. Game 2, 14 UTC. You definitely want to see it. Be sure to subscribe to the official Rise of Kingdoms channel for more Arco Osiris Grand Prix content. And be sure to check out our channels in the description below. Plato Gaming, Fish, RoK. And we'll have to see what happens next match. It's going to be so interesting to see how they adjust.
Extremely interesting, yeah. Amazing
Alrighty.
teams.
We'll see you guys at 14 UTC. Peace.